Of your hot nights, hot song, hot lips, all night long, hot bed of electric dreams, hot flash of electric scenes in your brain to drive you insane.
Hello and welcome today at channel 36 to Forbidden Secrets of April Moon, and the author of Too Old to Be a Hooker and Too Young to Be a Madam. And Elissa is on my right today, and we're going to have like a really intimate show and get down to some nitty-gritty of some personal things and, like we said, her forbidden secrets. And she was April Moon, the character in her book Too Old to Be a Hooker and Too Young to Be a Madam. Are you excited about the show today?
Always, always.
Okay. I just want to welcome you back. It's a pleasure having you. And we have other things that we're going to put on tape about the Beverly Hills Courier. Did a very good article about you. Too Old to Be a Hooker, Too Young to Be a Madam. Your book and the book signing.
In the LA Weekly.
And you had the LA Weekly article, but you're doing the fair the here on San Vicente on the 30th,
the
on
11th
Sunday.
Annual West Hollywood Book Fair.
Wonderful. So we're excited about that. There'll be a lot of people there.
I'm doing some book signings.
I know. And there's no book like yours, dear. No book like yours. Anyhow, what I do want to ask you, getting into the show and start, I've been wondering a lot of things and questions because your life has been eventful, exciting, right? But we didn't get into other things because now she has another book coming out. It'll be called Forbidden Secrets of April Moon. And now we're just getting some little tidbits from it, some juicy tidbits. And we're going to talk about some bondage and why people get excited over this and what happens and why they do it. And I'm going to question you about it, too. First of all, I'm going to ask you some stories. I want you to tell me some stories of things that you did, that you interacted with another person, the gentleman. Okay?
Maybe two other people.
Or two other people, whatever. Right. But I'm wondering about it. What, were you scared when you went into these things of bondage or anything like that? Or what feelings did you have?
Was I scared?
Right. Because, excuse me, because
nope.
I've seen some bondages, and they're wild. You know, you see the whip and the chains and everything like that.
And the dungeons.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the dungeons.
Okay. So let's start. Tell me a little about a few of them, okay? Do you mind?
No.
Okay. Tell me.
Well, there was one man that had a carrot fetish, and he drank warm Scotch out of a dish bowl. And one day I stuck his tool into a fish bowl, and the fish nibbled. I threw some food in it, and the fish nibbled on his tool. And I had borrowed somebody's apartment for the day, and they didn't have any idea, that I was going to use their fish. And when I dropped it in the bowl, the fish nibbled on it and died.
Oh my God!
And I didn't know what to do. So a few years,
I've never heard anything like this before. This is hilarious. This is so unusual.
Well, a year later, I met his lesbian girlfriend on a movie set, and she said, "You went to use Mark's apartment," because I was married then, so I had to use my gay boyfriend's apartment.
Oh, okay.
So she said, after you left that day, Mark's fish died, and he never knew what happened to it. Please, Peter, don't judge me. This was not recent, okay?
And you were married at the time?
Yeah.
So, after the fish nibbled at his tool, the fish died right away, or how did that happen?
I never knew. I found out about it. I got out of there fast.
How did he feel when he found out?
Fortunately, I never saw him again.
Okay, tell me some more. This is great. Tell me some more. I love it. Go ahead.
Well, there was a madam that's in the book,
Okay.
Madam Marina, and she called me up one day and she said, I have an assignment for you. I want you to go over to so-and-so Towers and meet this guy. You can wear, I had to wear sweaty tennis shoes for like a week.
Ooh, for a week? You had
Tennis shoes
Ooh,
before I went over.
that's what he required?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I go over there. He's wrapped up in a baby blanket with baby pictures on the wall. And he looks at me and goes, show me your toe. Let me suck that toe. And I went, okay. Well, I didn't put any nail polish on it today, but you can suck my toe. And so he sucked on my toe.
Excuse me, but you had these sweaty sneakers on. I mean, honestly, didn't you feel funny having him suck your toe? I mean, when you took your foot out of the sneaker, didn't you feel
Well,
funny?
maybe if he wasn't a freak rolled up in a baby blanket with baby pictures on the wall, I would have felt funny. But not with a freak like that. How do you feel funny? Suddenly he's rolling around in his baby blanket and he's going, give me that toe again. I want to suck that toe. And he was beating it off underneath the baby blanket. And
oh
then
my God.
that was it.
That was it. That
Well,
was enough.
not exactly. He wanted me back, you know.
Well, I guess he did.
He only had my left toe.
Oh, what, did he specify which toe, or did it make any difference?
But when he liked my left toe, he figured that I'd have a hot-looking right toe.
Did you have a hot-looking right toe?
I haven't been looking at my toes lately, but obviously it worked.
Okay.
He was happy.
Oh, I guess he was.
Yeah.
And you were happy. I mean, it was something different and easy.
Well,
Right?
my family cut off my trust fund, and I kind of had to get some money that day, and that was a quick way to do it.
Boy, that was a quick way.
No
Stories-
intercourse, no touching, no anything, just toe sucking.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't appreciate wearing sweaty tennis shoes for a week,
Oh,
but
how
whatever you
gory.
have to do, you have to do.
Oh, gory. But, you know, you hear a difference from men. Some men are leg men, some men are boob men, some men are feet men, toes, shoe men. You hear that. But, I mean, this story is really
Well, I've got
outrageous.
some other ones.
What? Oh, yeah, tell me.
I have some other little stories here that are pretty funny.
Oh, my God. This is great.
There was a producer who
No names, though.
never,
No names.
never. Well, they called him, I must name him, they called him the man with the gray velvet tongue. So anyway, he was a producer who put me on series and things, and he used to come over and he'd fly his fabulous corsets in from London and his English wigs. He'd come over and he'd say, okay, could you put this wig on and make me up? And
Why did he want English wigs?
Oh, he
what
was
different-
very sophisticated.
Was he from England?
No. He was American Pie. But anyway, he said, make me up, put makeup on me, and put this wig on me, this English wig. And then he looked in the mirror after I put the makeup on him and he said, I look like a witch. And I went, oh, no. So then he brought very expensive Scotch over, and I had a lot of animals, and he wanted to drink. He made me heat up Scotch, and he drank warm Scotch out of a dog dish.
Oh, my God.
And then he made me spray alcohol on a carrot, and I figure that you know where that went, so we won't even get into that one.
From
You have an
behind?
imagination. But he'd get down on all fours, and he'd drink the warm Scotch, and he'd bark.
Oh, my God.
Woof, woof! And my dogs would be there, and they'd go, whoa! Whoa! It was pretty funny.
So excuse me, I'm crying, I'm laughing so much. He drank the warm Scotch out of the
dog
doggy
dish.
dish.
He made me warm it up, and it had to be very expensive Scotch.
I wonder why
What's
the warming up what that did. I wonder what that did. Why?
It was more humiliating to drink warm Scotch. Have you ever had warm Scotch?
No.
Well, that was humiliating. It was humiliating for him to have warm Scotch.
So that was it, and nothing else. There was no intercourse.
We won't talk about. And he had his tool hanging out, of course.
Right.
And made me spray Scotch all over his tool. And
okay.
I didn't have to touch that gray-looking tool, thank God.
Oh.
And that was it. I got a lot of movie parts. What can I tell you?
Oh my God.
I'd line up for the casting people, and they'd call all their names. You know, they'd hang. All these desperate women would line up, and suddenly Elissa Eaton, and all the women would get so jealous because they'd see me in Variety and the Reporter, and why does she get all the jobs? They didn't see me pushing the third button of the elevator on the way up to the executive suites, I hope. Okay.
Because they were like cattle calls when those women came
yeah,
out.
but mine was fixed.
I know. Yours was all set
I
up.
had it made.
Oh, I must say you did have it made.
And then I had a maid too.
What did the maid do? Oh, tell me what this maid did now.
I had a maid, and she ordered all kinds of wonderful food for this girlfriend and I. And fabulous champagne, you know, the dome, and brought it up and wore a maid's uniform.
Okay.
And I noticed that her head was all bandaged. Well, Frida was boy. He was a boy.
Oh.
But it was kind of boy-girl.
Okay.
And so his head was all bandaged up. And I went, oh, my God. And he had a transplant, and he was wearing a maid's uniform with nothing on underneath it.
How did that look, though, with the Was his whole head bandaged?
Yes, it looked like a beehive, okay?
Oh, my God.
So suddenly he goes, would you girls be kind enough after... I said, no, that isn't clean. Do that again. There's your scrub brush. Here's the Majox. Hey, you better clean this house or you will be punished. And so he cleaned up. I mean, it's cheaper than having a cleaning crew, let's face it, and then you get paid for it, and you're drinking great champagne.
Oh, my God.
And eating oysters.
And what else did he ask you?
So then he wanted me, I had a chandelier hanging on my terrace where you can look over the whole, you know.
A chandelier on your terrace?
On my terrace where you can look over Bel Air. Okay,
Wow.
so everybody can look up on my terrace that lives in Bel Air.
I mean, a crystal chandelier?
No, it was wrought iron.
Oh, okay.
Pardon me.
Oh, excuse me.
So anyway, we tied him up to the wrought iron chandelier, and he was upside
wait,
down.
excuse me. You tied him up with the front of your... Did he ask you to tie him? Is this what
Yeah,
he
he
wanted?
wanted to get tied up
Tied up.
to the crystal chandelier. Oh, no, pardon me. Wrought iron.
Okay.
Okay, so we tied him up, and then what happened was he had nothing on underneath, and he wanted to be swung by the rope up and down over the terrace. And some of the neighbors were looking. They were sunbathing then. And they were kind of looking up, and I said to my friend,
Oh,
my God,
heavens.
what are the neighbors going to think?
Oh.
She'll go, they'll just think that you have a beehive on your terrace. Oh, God.
Oh, my heavens. Oh, this is so hard. This is unbelievable. This is so unbelievable. Do you have anything else you could think of? I love this. I love to get into all of this. It's so interesting. I'm sure our viewers will find this interesting.
Well, you don't want to
too.
hear about how we put the same guy in a trunk of our car. Drove him around.
You put a guy in the trunk?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Here again, it sounds like CSI or something like that. He wanted to go in the trunk? I mean, I've heard people that they like to go in coffins.
He didn't exactly want to go, but we kind of told him that was the agenda for the afternoon.
So then what? What
He got out alive, thank God, or I would have been in jail.
Oh, my God.
I would have been in, what's the worst jail you can be in?
Let's say you were, I would say you were like a risk taker, too. I mean, for something like that.
No kidding. I made some very bad choices.
No kidding.
That was not a good choice.
But through all of this and everything, like at an end of the day, how did you feel? Would you feel like you were rewarded because you got the part and you didn't have to stand in line or wait? How did you feel at the end of the day?
Well, I loved when I saw myself in Variety.
Uh-huh.
And when I got the part and made all the money for the parts and all that. And then the thing is, I could, get it on with another girl, too, at the same time. Sometimes these men, after a few times, they want to see somebody different with you. Who do you know? How many girlfriends do you have?
Uh-huh.
So get out the pictures. Hey, you like this one or that one or that one or that one? And these were my girlfriends,
Well, like I said, it's very popular today.
So how I felt about it was, I came from a very elitist, wealthy family. And anything like that was taboo.
Mm-hmm.
As far as a woman being with a woman or a man being with a woman, with a man. A woman-man, a man-woman.
Right.
They really put it down. So I like to shock my family, and I was in the movie and I did nudes. Very, expensive, with very cool stars like James Wood and Sylvester Stallone. I was in his coffin. And I did, I made a lot of money doing that.
But excuse me, let me interrupt for 1 second. It's the way they thought, because that's the way they were brought up. It's like I came from an Italian family, and with my grandparents, when I went into entertainment, my grandmother told my mother, only bad girls do that. Don't ever have her come into my house if she's going into that modeling or anything like that. That's the way they thought, and from their mothers and their grandfathers and everything. It's a cycle, right? It's a cycle.
But I liked being a bad girl.
You like being a bad girl.
So the thing about it was that my fantasy, I always was very aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved beauty. And I knew a lot of beautiful women because that was my business. We had to be beautiful to be in the movies and, get jobs. So I had an excuse to play when one of these guys would want me to get one of these girls over. And I could,
be playful.
Be playful with the women at the same time. And it was an excuse.
Well, that was a treat for them. That was a treat.
I didn't have to feel guilty like I was a butch. So it worked, and I liked it. It was fun.
Okay.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Can I ask you this? Has it been a while since you have interacted with any of these things? Okay.
Yes, I haven't been to the pleasure chest lately.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. But when I said interacted, anything at all were you asked to participate in maybe a party? Because I know there's some parties in town. Like I told you, there's one lady in town, no name and all, where she gives these parties and things go on and everything.
No parties.
Okay.
No. My porno star boyfriend used to go to an A-frame to parties once a week, and he wanted me to go with him, but I didn't like it. I went to a nudist colony once.
Oh, you did? Where? Where? Here
I
in
can't
LA?
pronounce Echelon, or what was the name of it? I don't remember. There was a name of it.
In the LA
It
area?
was kind of far away from here.
Okay.
I don't remember where. But when
Oh,
I
my
looked at those bodies, I went, this is not for me.
How did you feel when you, because I went to one too, and it was a surprise to me because they thought it was funny. It was my family and some people, and I've never
Your
took
family?
Yeah, this was a well-known, not here. This was in Hawaii, and
You
everybody.
took your family to a
No,
nudist?
no, I didn't. No, it had to do with some friends of mine, and I don't mean my mother and father. I won't go into it, but it was a joke on me, like, you know, because I never went to a nudist place before. This was in Maui, or near Maui, and when I stepped on the rock and went down and saw that, I mean, it's my mouth dropped. It was funny.
Well, if there
Because,
were,
like you said, they were all different shapes and sizes, and
Right.
they were playing badminton, and
if they were all like goddesses and gods, then it would have been really cool.
it would have been cool.
But they were like,
especially when they're playing sports, right? Yeah, that's the funniest thing.
Those
you know,
are that is a sport, what they're doing, and then when they're playing sports and they're bouncing up and down with their, never mind.
I know. But were you uncomfortable when you went?
I didn't stay long enough, okay, to be uncomfortable.
I mean, did you undress and join them, or did you just
No.
you just viewed the
I
whole
just
thing?
viewed it and said, you look like a bunch of losers. I'm out of here. I told that guy.
But I mean, there are no
It took
places
me.
today that are well known
Well-
and high society places where they go and they're reputable, like everything else. Where people, like they say, they want to breathe and they don't like clothes on all the time. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Well, it's not
Right?
It's not for me.
Okay. Oh, now this is interesting. Now here's a lady, Elissa, who was April Moon in the book, who has had the most exciting life and has done things that have been wild, life full of decadence, betrayal, all of these things, bisexuality. And then I mentioned a nudist camp, and then you said that's not for me. Why? Why?
Because I like a threesome, not a tensome.
Oh. I understand. It's more intimate.
Yeah. And another thing.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you like to be viewed? When you do these things, do you do them because, I've heard this from other people, they like to be viewed like on camera. They like other people watching them, and it's a turn on for them. Did you get that feeling?
I like to have mirrors and watch myself. I'm a narcissist.
Oh, you like to watch? How about the mirrors? You like to watch with the mirrors on top?
Absolutely.
Okay.
See, the thing is this. I kind of like am attracted to certain women, but I could never be with a woman alone because that would be too intimate for me. And I have a fear of intimacy. So if I'm with a woman and a man, that's like...
That's safe.
That's safe. You know what I mean?
But you've been married. You're not afraid of intimacy. You were married for years.
Oh, yeah, but that was one thing. But anybody else or anything else, I'm afraid of intimacy with women, with men, that's how I am.
Okay. How do you think, but you dated, how do you think you could overcome that? Do you think you could overcome that at all?
If somebody made me come the right way.
Okay. All right.
All right.
It's the excitement, it's the thrill. This is it.
Uh-huh.
It's
And also the rebellion.
magnetism and chemistry.
Yeah, and the rebellion. And I love to shock people. Why don't you read the headline? Do you have the headline of my new 5-star review about me being a female warrior?
Yeah, someone just called her a female warrior. A great review on Amazon, and she is. she's like a female warrior. She gets out there, she does all these things, her life is full of risk and everything, and she was ready for action all the time.
Well, if you don't ever risk anything, you're living with one foot in the grave. You have to at least just kind of go for it and have some fun.
And then later on in the years, you could think back. I think it would be very shallow for some people as they get older and when they think about years ago and not too many things went on and they didn't have anything to do with their lives and how boring that would be.
I
That's
mean,
bad.
how would I be able to write a book like I've written if I hadn't experienced all these adventures? How would I be able to? They say write about what you know about. A lot of the book is fiction, and that's really true. And nobody knows what is and what isn't. And that's fun. Keep them guessing.
Okay, now your new book coming out, Forbidden Secrets. This, I mean, your book now is just fabulous. This is intriguing. This is really going to be intriguing. Just that title alone, you wonder, and it makes you, oh, I can't wait till she writes it because I want to hear more, you know?
Well, it's almost there. It's almost written. It's ready to go.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
much. This is wonderful. We could get this out.
We go a little further.
Further
than where we are today.
Okay.
Because
further into
it's fiction inspired by true events.
Okay. What's the limit for you on the type of bondage and everything out there? There's a limit. What is your cutoff that you won't do?
Cutting.
Oh my God, yeah, they do cut, don't they?
And I'm not crazy about the candle wax.
Oh boy. Hot candle
wax. Go to Pier 1, and get a bunch of candles, and that's so cliche. I think it's much more exciting, the intriguing kind of thing between a man and a woman, when there's a little romance involved, and they're just a little freaky, and I'm a little freaky, and maybe the man gets on the bottom of the floor and crawls towards me, and
That's
I'm wearing...
beast. He's like a beast.
He's like a beast. And I'm wearing a corset and the whole thing. I think nipple clamping hurts.
Okay, let's say that you said before with your Latin lover, you liked him because he was so strong and so manly, and you did mention beasts before, but I think women like a beast in a man. It makes them more sensual, right? Sexy. It's like the hither type, would you say?
Well, it's
more or
like
less.
Stanley Kowalski in,
oh my God,
Tennessee
our time's
Williams.
getting so late again.
Okay.
We're just getting into this. I hate it on Channel 36.
It's like
anyhow, go ahead.
It's
keep
like
talking.
Tennessee Williams,
right?
In Sweet Bird of Youth or Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh yeah.
The beast.
Oh yeah, that's.
And the woman, and the beast tames the woman. But I've never been tamed because I think that some women need somebody wild enough.
Okay.
As wild as them.
Elissa, it's cut off. We had a great time today and everything.
Okay.
Gonna do it again in the book fair. Thank you, Channel 36.